This is a story. It says, eastbound and down. He says, we're going to do what they say couldn't be done. Truckers, eastbound and down. So we say, you guys see that Star Trek movie, man? When I was growing up, my dad told me, he says, those British people, the British intelligence, like James Bond and stuff, their beers are like twice the size of ours. And you go, New York, their mug is like a picture of ours, man. Drinking a lot of beer. Well, some of those people weren't alcoholics. Not at all. They were just pretending. Yeah, pretending. Here's a story of 3 wise men. Grandpa Kirk, Captain James Kirk, and young Joseph Kirk. So, my grandfather, he says, hey, I want you to watch this Western movie. This sheriff in this town, he's drunk and stuff. He's all messed up, but yeah, I'm a deputy sheriff. I don't drink. He says, you see this deputy sheriff? He's drinking, he's drunk. He says, what we're gonna do is they put him up, they wake him up, and they give him a bunch of coffee. They give him a bunch of coffee, he sobers up, and he's like, whoo! Now we're gonna straighten up and clean up the town. So he says, we made a movie about that too. He says, Walking Tall. He says, all right. So then, Captain James Kirk, he says, man, there's British people, their beers are twice the size of ours, man. You ever been on a Navy submarine over there, or one of those British Navy ships? Man, he says, I tell you what, them Mexicans, man, them Mexican stuff, some of their liquor, man, it's to kill you, man. Whew. He says, but, a bunch of us got together. You seen that one movie? They had that little Mexican guy, he eating poison all of his life, and it's like, man, he's immune to it all of a sudden. He says, well, some of those people are pretending to be alcoholics. They just snap their fingers and says, no, we're just kidding. So he says, what do you mean? He says, well, when Joseph was younger, he says, hey, I got a problem with drinking all this stuff and acting irresponsible. He says, what? And they said, Joseph Kirk, he doesn't have a problem with his drinking. He's not drunk. He's just pretending that. He says, that way you have a problem with the drinking. He says, oh, you have a problem with people drinking too much? He says, yeah, man. So we're going to tell you a little secret about the Secret Service. He says, some of them alien angel stuff, they came from outer space, outer space means, out there in the outer limits, it's like some very serious stuff, telepathic, telekinesis, all kind of stuff. And I'll tell you, and some of them, they do math like you wouldn't believe. It's like some of the math that I do, it's quantum physics and stuff. You're like, what's quantum physics? Well, you don't want to learn that stuff, trust me. You just want to trust, In God we trust. And he said, well, how about that coffee? Sometimes you just need some reassurance. And it says, if you drink some coffee like the old Western and everybody sobers up and puts their minds together, man, we just really cool stuff. He says, hey, check this out. You ready? Remember Duncan MacLeod? Duncan MacLeod? He says, okay. One of them doctors, he says, hey, man, we're sorry you got to do all this stuff and you got to learn all this stuff about all the doctors and everything and what we're doing and what we're trying to accomplish. But, you wake up one day, we want you to remember all this stuff. And he says, so he put all the doctors there, that had no idea what they were doing. And it says, take this genius and put him in there and see what he does. So all the doctors said when I woke up, I wouldn't feel bad. They put all of themselves in a Dunkin' booth and they said, Mr. Kirk, here's a whole bucket full of baseballs. And I want you to throw all these baseballs until you dunk all those doctors. Oh, wow. So then they had the Highlander movie, Duncan MacLeod. And it says, Duncan will keep America running. Not running away. Building new resources. Tourism, fun entertainment for, good products and services and, moving forward in time. He says, well, we get everybody to wake up and give them something else. Well, positive reassurance, it's like planting seeds in the mind. And sometimes they say, well, it's too late. And I says, no, it's never too late. Why? Of course. You've been drinking too much. You think of that frothy little beer, like Bart Simpson, Homer Simpson. Duh. Here you go. There's a 3 for the Trinity. The 3 wise men, grandfather, father, and son. See? Grandmother, mother, supermom. It's a Judy Green, Green New Deal. I hear Dunkin' Donuts has the coldest beer in town. You know, because we want you to be all you can be. Can you spell beer? It's like B-E-E-R, you know? You know, be educational restorations. You know, I told you you're not going to believe it. Because education, you know, is an exciting revival. You know, all kinds of cool stuff everywhere. You just got to look for the little treats. See it. New sweet cold foam. Oh, so you mean don't have to add a whole lot of sugar? You know, because I always like, I get coffee, I'm like, man, I don't want to burn my mouth on this coffee. You know, they sue McDonald's for that. Stupid. It's like, you guys don't know how to not to drink hot coffee. Somebody got to pay you to remind you to feel better about yourself, being stupid enough to drink scalding hot coffee. Like, okay, we shouldn't do stupid stuff like that. So we go, well, you know, hot coffee and a bunch of sugar in it because I like sweet coffee. It's funny, you know, when I was younger, like that little seed the Colombians did with the Colombian shuttle, they were like, here, it was just sugar, guys, just regular sugar coated on a Colombian coffee bean. I got it at a school, a public school, you know, it's teaching about all this stuff. But anyways, so I like sweet coffee. So it was like cold coffee, man. This is cold beer for Mr. Kirk. Look, we got cold foam, cold brew, and it's new sweet cold foam. So you get a little foam on top. It's kind of sweet, you know, and instead of you know, beer, you know, beer bubbles and stuff gets you sick, kill your liver and stuff. And it's like, hey, sober up a little bit. It's hot in the desert. It's hot in Florida, so we made cold coffee. Imagine that. That's how much people care. The CARES Act.